Hey, it's Chase from On the Table Gaming, and today we're looking at the most recent previews for House Lannister in the 2021 update for A Song of Ice and Fire: The Miniatures game. The Lannister Tactics deck maintains its focus on counterplay and political machinations, with intrigue and subterfuge negating an enemy NCU's abilities until the end of the round, no longer featuring a kicker focused on controlling the crown zone and forcing your enemy to discard a card, instead now focusing on funding from the wealth zone to weaken an enemy combat unit. A Lannister pays his debts, attaches to a friendly combat unit for the duration of the game, gathering tokens which grant vicious, and, while you control the crown zone, granting a +1 to hit. Hear Me Roar continues to impact enemy units' morale, now triggering off any morale test with an additional wound if played on a panic test. Bribery allows you to replace a zone's effect with the ability to weaken an opponent's combat effectiveness until they pass a morale test or their loyalty is resecured with an offer from the wealth zone. One of the most iconic of Lannister Tactics cards, Counterplot remains the same with a clarified trigger. Fealty to the Crown sees slight tweaks to its numbers, but ultimately presents a more polished version of its 1.6 self, while Subjugation of Power, a new entry into the Lannister deck, replaces Wealth and Power and allows you to nullify a unit's ability to receive tactics or use its abilities on a failed panic test. Lannister Pyromancers now have Horrific Visage, providing more defense through offense and cementing them as the epitome of the glass cannon concept in the Lannister army. Lannister Halberdiers have the ability to use their order set for charge, now against attacks not just from the front arc, but also from the flanks as well. Lannister Guardsmen, the core Lannister soldier, see Lannister supremacy tied to an order, allowing for a more significant choice point, and on full ranks, potentially forcing their opponent to take a panic test with a -3 and suffering +3 wounds if they fail their panic test. Finally, Lannister Poorfellows now begin the game with a faith token, gaining precision and the ability to re-roll their attacks, as well as gaining moderate healing each time it activates. Attachments like the Guard Captain will help keep Lannister troops on the battlefield longer, while charismatic individuals like Jaime Lannister the Young Lion will help to inspire his unit as he employs his deadly martial training to cut through his opponents. As a commander, Jaime Lannister the Kingslayer is an agile and dangerous opponent and will punish lesser foes for their attacks. A somewhat selfish commander, Jaime's tactics cards focus on himself, but have a secondary option to draw another tactics card should the opportunity for him to maximize his presence on the battlefield not present itself. However, once in the thick of things, Jaime will certainly hold his own on the battlefield. The Lannisters are well known for their political machinations, and Cersei Lannister allows you to search your deck for Hear Me Roar and Subjugation of Power. It's important to note that if you control both the Crown and Wealth Zone, she does trigger both of those effects on her card. Joffery Baratheon, Lord of the Seven Kingdom, brings the might of the Iron Throne to bear, targeting individual units with his wrath and inflicting panic tests. A mechanic not too dissimilar from that of Cersei in version 1.6, it's clear that Joffery takes after his mother. Tyrion the Imp continues to use his tactical mastery as he navigates the Game of Thrones, increasing your starting hand as well as the maximum number of tactics cards you can hold, as well as providing an instant counterplot once per game. Finally, Tywin Lannister, the Great Lion, brings his legendary reputation to bear with the ability to apply powerful effects once per game, electing to smash one unit or spread the effects over several units as he sees fit. Let us know what you think of the previews to House Lannister in the 2021 update in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and in the meantime, we hope you get your miniatures on the table.